welcome back to Eat My Shrubs. Today we're gonna feed the worms. I'll do another voiceover video because when I fed the worms the other day, which is when this video was actually recorded, um, feels like talking, to be honest. And I wasn't really sure if you watched my previous video about emptying the worm trap. That was the main purpose of this visit to the worms. Was to empty that trap. But when I did that, uh, the side, so the bottom of the screen side of the worm bin was really wet. So what I decided to do was, rather than add to that wet side, I decided I'd feed them on I guess the top where I'm feeding them right now. And then what I do is move everything to that side, all the compost that is over to that side. The worm bin itself doesn't sit. The floor isn't quite flat out in the studio. It's sort of tipped away from. It's kind of just sloped. Anyway, so by doing this, the liquid should all run out slowly. And there's not a lot, but it's too wet. So by doing this, it should all drain out of the compost over into what will be the empty side, and then I can deal with it there a lot easier when it's just the liquid. So that's the goal here. Basically, this is just every few weeks. This is what we do. They still had a bit of food left. I didn't get a close up of the compost here, but I just emptied a bit of compost I have in the kitchen, a bunch of bananas and coffee grinds, and I just made some pumpkin puree, so there's pumpkin peels and stuff like that. So here you see I'm just taking the dry part on top of the driest part. I guess it's still pretty wet. I'm trying to get as many of the worms into this one side. The worms don't want to be in the liquid. I mean, ultimately, it's a lot of their own pee, I guess, for lack of a better term. But so they obviously don't want to be in there. So if I can skim off the top bit of the drier compost, then that's where I'll get most of the worms, and then they can feed on the food that's over on the top part here. And then eventually, probably in a couple of months now, probably I'll wait until the spring comes. They can, in the spring, I can, sorry, my phone rang and it distracted me. In the spring, I can set the trap again and get some of the compost out of there too. So we can start this process all over again. Eventually, I'm going to have to take this whole thing apart and fix the hole that's in here. And when I do that, I might actually put a drain in this bin. We'll see how that goes. I'm still working on the design, but stay tuned for that. If I do make that change, put a drain in here for the liquid, I'll be sure to make a video of that. So, okay, so I got the most of the worms and the dry stuff out, so I'm just going to harvest this sloppy bit into what was once my bokashi composter. I didn't do that this winter, the bokashi, but I'll get back into that maybe. But anyway, I'm just going to throw this stuff eventually out into the outside compost, and it can just be part of that. There isn't a lot of worms in this bit, so I can, it's fine. It's pretty wet, as you can see the dripping bits here. I'm wearing gloves here if you guys are new to the worm compost. A couple of years ago, I got into wearing gloves while I'm doing this. I didn't always, and you don't need to. But this stuff is sticky and it'll stay in your hands, and it's just easier to wear gloves. So I've gotten into the use of wearing gloves all the time. I do reuse the gloves, over and over and over again, as long as I can get them off without tearing a hole in them. So um, it's just a convenience thing for me, I guess. Um, so yeah, I got the most of that out. So now what's left in the bottom is mainly liquid. So I'm gonna take the paper from the worm trap and just put that in the bottom. That'll help soak up the liquid and keep it from dripping through the hole wherever the hole is in that. So I'll probably add some more water or some more paper to it to just to soak up the liquid as it drains out of the compost. Um, and, uh, and so I just set it there for a little bit. Um, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take my gloves off here now, and everything else I can do without the gloves. So that's pretty much it, really. Um, I'm gonna put the compost I did harvest aside for now, and then I can put it in the garden or in the compost outside, and go from there. So put that away, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.